You know that feeling, right? That incredible frustration when you understand exactly why you're anxious. You can pinpoint every trigger, you can name every single pattern, but you just can't seem to make it stop. If that sounds like you, I want you to know it's not a failure. It's actually a signal that something much deeper is going on. So that's the big question we're diving into today. You've got all this insight, all this knowledge about yourself, but you still feel like you're not in the driver's seat of your own emotions. So let's unpack why knowing isn't always enough to make a real change. You see, there's this gap, a gap between what we know we should do and what we actually do. And that gap, that's right where the struggle lives. It's where we get stuck, and it has a very real, very draining effect on us day in and day out. I bet this sounds familiar. Your mind just gets caught in this endless loop, right? It's always replaying the past, obsessing over all the shoulds, could'ves, and would'ves. You basically mentally exhaust yourself until that feeling of unease just feels normal. And when you think about it, if your mind is constantly looking in the rearview mirror, it's pretty much impossible to feel like you have your hands on the steering wheel in the present. And that, naturally, makes you feel wary, even scared of a future you can't control. So what's the end result of fighting this constant mental battle? You just feel drained, completely and utterly exhausted. And after a while, you get that sinking feeling that nothing you're trying is working, and a little bit of hopelessness starts to creep in. But here's the thing. There's another force at play here, something way more powerful than your conscious thoughts. We need to talk about the part of your mind that's really in charge, the one that's actually driving the car, your subconscious. Think of it like this, okay? Your conscious mind, that's the general. It's the part that makes the plans, that gives the orders. It totally understands the strategy. But your subconscious mind? Well, that's the army. It's the massive force that controls your emotions, your habits, your instant reactions. It's just waiting to carry out the commands. This quote just nails it. Our feelings don't come from events themselves. They come from how we interpret those events. And that interpretation, that way of thinking, it's all based on old lessons and past experiences that are stored away in your subconscious army. It's running on old software. And this is where the conflict happens. The general, your conscious mind, is yelling, hey, stay calm, but the army, your subconscious, is still following old orders from a battle that happened years ago, and it reacts with a wave of anxiety. So when your army is working against your general, you feel totally stuck. That's the knowing-doing gap right there. So what if you could become a better general? What if you could finally learn how to give clear, effective commands that your army would actually listen to and follow? This, right here, is where the real change can finally begin. And the tool to do this is something called cognitive hypnotherapy. It's an evidence-based approach that's specifically designed to get underneath all those patterns your conscious mind just can't seem to reach. So instead of just talking about the problem for months, you get to work directly with what's driving it to create change that actually lasts. The process itself is actually really direct. First, you learn how to access the subconscious mind, basically get into the army's headquarters. From there, you can start to understand its old, unhelpful patterns. Then you can guide it to heal from whatever happened in the past to create those patterns. And finally, you build new, much more helpful ways to respond today. Okay, so let's look at what this looks like in the real world. The way Revive Therapy approaches this is all about making the process super focused, totally personalized, and incredibly effective. So we're not talking about generic scripts or some simple breathing exercises that just temporarily calm you down. This is focused, personalized work that is all about you. It gets right to the root of the issue by working with those subconscious drivers, and that's the secret sauce to getting real, lasting results, often way faster than you'd expect. And what happens when you do this kind of work? Well, that constant mental chatter, the endless overthinking, it finally starts to quiet down. Those knee-jerk, anxious reactions begin to settle, and you don't just think you should feel different, you actually truly start to feel different. You know, at the end of the day, the goal here isn't just about getting rid of anxiety. It's so much bigger than that. It's about stepping into the most capable, authentic version of who you are. It's about getting back your sense of clarity and peace so you can be your strongest self. And as the source material puts it just perfectly, it is time to become what you must, the strongest and wisest version of yourself. So really, the question isn't, why can't I stop this anymore? The real question is, are you ready to be the general? Are you ready to command your army? If you're sitting there thinking yes,
you can take that first step. Go ahead and book a free 15-minute consultation to see if this is the right path for you. The chance to become the commander of your own mind is right there, waiting.